P.L. Travers, well, I'm doing and making noises like, because it's very difficult to know where to start, because investigating her was like getting to know an onion. You know, you go, where's the core? Okay, I'll peel this layer off and then I'll find the core. And no, I'll peel this layer off and I was like, oh, there's another, oh God, where does this woman end? Where does she end and where does she begin? And that's why she was so fascinating to play, because of course she began in Australia and then denied that beginning for the rest of her life. So spent her whole life, as it were, layering up. So she's a complicated artist. Preparation for something like this is, I mean, I'm sure any actor will tell you the same thing. You get hold of everything that you can. She was a writer, that's your first clue. So just read everything she's written. I didn't read everything she'd written, but I read most of it. And some of it's just extraordinary. Not her Mary Poppins stuff. She was also a writer of essays, a writer of poetry. She was a journalist. And she wrote these extraordinary pieces about myth for a magazine called Parabola in the latter part of her life. She was an actress in the first instance. In Australia, there are wonderful photographs of her wearing grapes in her hair. She was fascinated by Ireland, by Celtic myth, by myth from every tradition. So she ended up specialising in myth, really. She, I think, wanted to think of herself as an intellectual. She wanted nothing to do with Australia and its shallow roots. And so I suppose her reinvention of herself, time and again, the fact, in fact, that she was searching all her life until she died. She was still searching for something. She followed all sorts of gurus, including Krishnamurti, nothing wrong with him, and Gurdjieff, who was a very out there, radical philosophical thinker. There's very little in that area that she didn't explore, including Sufism. So she was a very interesting person. I was absolutely astonished to discover that the journey of this iconic creature, Mary Poppins, to the screen had been not only so long, I mean, over 20 years, but so fraught and so full of combat, actually. She insisted, when she decided that she was going to engage, at least, with Mr. Disney, that all the discussions about the script be taped, you know, which was very shocking to everybody, you can imagine. It was so suspicious and so self-protective and defensive and everything. So anyway, they did it. They bent over backwards for her. And so there are these tapes, hours and hours of them. It's agony listening to them. Agony, because every tiny word is investigated, and you think, how did they deal with this? How did they manage? I mean, they were young and presumably just drank a lot of gin after the end of each day. I mean, I can't think of any other way, because she was in distress at the same time and trying to control a kind of uncontrollable behemoth, you know. She sounds very sort of, she's just like this all the time. No, well, yes, and then just something like that. And no. She gets very, very kind of tense. Just listening to it makes you tense. And then she's so boring a lot of the time. And you think, well, they must have been bored half to death by this woman. So they are fantastically difficult things to listen to, but once you've listened to them, you kind of got it.